The woman who called the police and revealed a story that could change everything about your life. Archangel Michael says, the time has arrived when the silence of one woman breaks the chains of deception. She has spoken to the police, and what she revealed carries the weight of destiny itself. This message is for you, and the urgency cannot be ignored. The beginning of this story is surrounded by shadows, where whispers moved quietly, and people thought no one would dare to speak the truth. But this woman, whose name is hidden for reasons beyond imagination, stepped forward at the right moment. Her decision has now opened a door that will affect the very balance of your future. The police thought it was an ordinary report, just another voice carried into their office with fear and trembling. But what she said made the room grow silent, and every officer turned their head as though lightning had struck through their ears. Because her revelation was not small, it was about something that touches your name, your place, and your life directly. Every hidden detail that was once carefully buried has now been placed on a table before officials who cannot deny it. And though they did not say it aloud, they knew that destiny itself had been triggered. This is why you are reading these words now, because her voice became the bridge between silence and truth. The strange part is that this woman was not supposed to be there that day. Circumstances led her to cross paths with an officer she trusted enough to open her heart. And when she did, the energy in the air shifted, as though invisible forces prepared to unravel the chains that kept you bound. Her words carried not only facts but emotions that cut through the weight of deception. She spoke with trembling hands, yet with fire in her eyes, because she knew the burden was no longer hers to carry. And though she did not say your name aloud, the story pointed directly in your direction. The officers began writing, their pens moving quickly, realizing that they were now holding something that could cause a storm. Their silence grew heavier with every word she spoke, as if they were preparing for what would come next. Because once the truth is written, it cannot be erased, and her confession was more powerful than any lie that had been built before it. Archangel Michael says, do not be afraid of the truth when it finds you. For truth has always been your shield, even when hidden enemies tried to blind your eyes. Her revelation described a hidden movement, people who were not just against you but silently working to replace you. They thought you would never notice, they thought no one would ever expose their steps. But in that one call, their carefully designed structure began to crack. Imagine the faces of those who believed their actions were secret. Suddenly, they will feel the walls closing in, realizing that their silence is no longer enough to protect them. Because someone dared to speak, and the police now hold the map to what they've been doing in the shadows. Her testimony stretched beyond personal matters, it extended into areas that linked to your work, your family, and even your closest connections. The officers were shocked to hear how far the deception had gone, and how much it was set to cost you if not revealed. Her courage has become the unseen hand that protected you before you even knew it. And now you must understand, this revelation was not by accident. It is a divine orchestration where truth walks forward at the exact time to save you. What you are about to witness in your own life will prove how accurate this message is. Type Amen to seal your blessing. 555. The room where she spoke is still heavy with the energy of her words. Some officers exchanged glances, realizing the weight of responsibility that fell upon them. Because once a truth like this is revealed, it carries a demand, something must be done. The woman's voice carried the strength of destiny. She knew the danger of speaking, but she also knew the danger of silence. And between fear and faith, she chose the path that now touches your destiny directly. Her revelation spoke about betrayal disguised as friendship. About smiles that hid knives. And about people who once shared your table but secretly plotted your absence from the very spaces you built with your own hands. Archangel Michael says, every hidden enemy will now be forced to stand in the light. Their masks will fall, and their silence will be broken. The woman did not speak with hesitation anymore once the first words left her lips. It was as if her entire life had prepared her for that single moment of courage. Every detail poured out, one after another, with a precision that startled even the most seasoned officers. They expected a complaint, something that could be recorded and set aside. But instead, what they received was a chain of revelations that connected dots no one had dared to trace before. Each word carried evidence of a bigger picture, and each pause she took carried weight heavier than steel. Her story was not random. It connected hidden gatherings, secret exchanges, and strange movements that all pointed toward a single truth: you were the one being targeted. It was not simply about her protection, but about the shield she unknowingly placed around you. The officers, though trained to remain calm, felt the tension ripple through the room. Their breathing slowed, and their eyes shifted, because deep down they understood this was not a simple report, it was the beginning of something that could no longer be contained. The walls of the station seemed to echo her words long after they were spoken. The silence of the officers was not disbelief, but realization that everything she described would eventually come out into the open. And when it does, the ripples will not just shake strangers, it will shake those you know by name. She explained how certain individuals worked silently to push you aside. Not by force, but by deception and manipulation. They believed replacing you would be unnoticed, that no one would step forward to reveal it. Her courage proved them wrong. The simple act of telling the truth dismantled months, even years, of carefully built lies. And in that moment, she became the unexpected guardian of your destiny. Archangel Michael says, when truth arrives, it arrives like fire, unstoppable, undeniable, and burning every falsehood that once stood against you. Type Amen to seal your blessing. 888. The report now exists in black and white, signed and recorded. It cannot be erased, and it cannot be ignored. What began as whispers has now become evidence that breathes in the hands of authority. You may not know it yet, but forces have shifted in your favor. Because the truth that was hidden is no longer in the dark, and those who conspired against you are beginning to feel the heat of exposure. The safety they once felt in silence is breaking. This is why destiny chose her voice. Out of millions, she was guided to be at that exact place, on that exact day, speaking to those exact officers. Nothing about it was coincidence, it was the alignment of divine timing. And now the unfolding has already started. One by one, masks will fall, and every false plan will unravel. You are about to witness a chain reaction of exposure that no one can stop. The woman's courage came at a cost. She risked the judgment of others, the danger of being silenced, and the weight of being questioned. But none of that mattered, because her mission was greater than her fear. The officers began making phone calls, their tone sharper, their urgency clearer. What she revealed required more than just listening, it required immediate action. And already, wheels of motion were set turning on your behalf. She spoke of documents, messages, and movements that all pointed in one direction. Her words exposed the blueprint of a deception so carefully designed, it could have easily gone unnoticed. But not anymore, not since she chose to reveal it. The foundation of lies is crumbling even as you read these words. What was hidden cannot remain buried, and the truth is already on its way to you. The same truth that will shift the path of your future forever. The people who thought they were safe are beginning to feel restless. Their footsteps grow heavier, their conversations quieter, because deep down they sense that something has changed. The silence they relied upon has been broken. Imagine them realizing that the walls are closing in. That the story they worked so hard to bury has already reached the ears of authority. They are no longer in control of the narrative, they are being watched, step by step. This is why you will soon see sudden changes. People may withdraw, avoid, or act strangely around you, because the weight of exposure is pressing against them. They know their time is limited. And while they struggle in silence, your path is clearing. The obstacles once placed before you are being removed, one by one. Because the truth has already declared you victorious. The days following her report carried a strange stillness, as though the world was holding its breath. The officers had begun their quiet investigations, and threads were being pulled from places no one expected. What was once a hidden network began to feel the strain of exposure. The woman herself remained calm on the outside, though inside she carried the weight of what she had done. She knew that once truth is spoken, it cannot be taken back. And even if she wished to, the wheels had already been set into motion. Meanwhile, those connected to the deception began noticing subtle shifts. Their plans were not flowing as easily as before, and unexpected obstacles started appearing. A message delayed, a meeting disrupted, an outcome reversed, all signs that the ground beneath them was shaking. And though they tried to convince themselves it was coincidence, deep inside they knew the truth. Someone had spoken, and everything was beginning to collapse. Their fear grew stronger, even if their words pretended otherwise. Type Amen to receive your blessing 333. The officers handled her words carefully. They did not rush, but neither did they rest. Every thread she had offered was checked, traced, and tied back to the people who thought themselves untouchable. It was not only about the facts she gave, it was about the timing. Each piece of information connected directly to events unfolding now, not years ago. It was as though her voice arrived precisely when it was most needed. And this is why her revelation directly ties to you. Without her decision, the plans against you would have continued unchecked, moving silently until it was too late. But now the hidden timeline has been broken. The police knew this case was unlike any other. The evidence was not just about crime, it was about destiny. And they could sense that your name, though not spoken aloud, was written between the lines of her testimony. Type Amen to claim your blessing 444. The people who worked against you never expected to be exposed in this way. They thought their control was perfect, that their masks were flawless. Yet here they are, slowly realizing that their hidden walls are collapsing. Their conversations have grown shorter, their strategies less confident. They avoid certain places, avoid certain people, because they no longer feel secure. The air around them carries the weight of fear. And as their energy fades, yours begins to rise. You may not see it yet, but opportunities that were once blocked are preparing to open. Doors that were held shut by deception are unlocking. The very ones who tried to hold you back are watching as the ground slips beneath them. Their silence cannot save them now, because truth has already begun its work. The woman herself has stepped into protection. Though she spoke only once, her words ripple like waves across an ocean. Each ripple carries strength that pushes against the lies that surrounded you. She has become a witness, even without fully realizing the power of her act. And in doing so, she tied her destiny with yours in a way that cannot be undone. Her courage secured more than her safety, it secured your rising. The officers may not speak to you directly yet, but their work continues silently in your favor. Files are being updated, names are being recorded, and every detail draws closer to the full truth being revealed. Archangel Michael says, "Do not fear the silence you feel now. For silence is only the sound of truth preparing its moment of arrival." The shift is already visible in the spiritual atmosphere. You may have noticed certain people stepping away, not answering, or avoiding your presence. This is not random, it is the effect of exposure moving closer. Those who worked against you can no longer stand in the light of your energy. They retreat, because they sense their masks will not hold when truth is near. And every step they take backward is a step forward for you. Their actions will begin to betray them. A slip of the tongue, a sudden absence, an unusual decision, these will be signs that their grip has weakened. The truth they feared is now chasing them. And you, the one they tried to replace, will soon see with your own eyes how destiny favors you. Because when lies fall, only the rightful one remains standing. Type Amen to receive your blessing 777. The investigations grew wider, stretching into places even the officers hadn't expected. Every name the woman mentioned became a point of interest, and each point of interest revealed new threads waiting to be pulled. The web was bigger than anyone first imagined. But no matter how wide it stretched, the center kept pointing back to one reality: you. The deception was built around your position, your presence, and your influence. And without your knowledge, they had been plotting to quietly erase your space. Now that truth has touched it, their silence is no longer a weapon. Instead, it has become evidence against them. The very thing they used to stay hidden will be what unmasks them in the end. Their time is running out, and they can feel it. Their steps are heavier, their decisions are slower, and their confidence has shattered. The exposure is closing in like a storm. The woman who spoke is now under unseen protection. Though she may not fully realize it, a divine shield surrounds her for the role she has played. Because she became the key that unlocked the truth at the exact right time. She does not need to speak again. Once was enough to break the silence, and once was enough to set destiny in motion. Her voice has already traveled farther than her presence. The officers who hold her report treat it with unusual care. They are cautious in how they move, but they are also relentless in their pursuit. Because they know this is not an ordinary case, it is bigger than it appears. And as their work continues, the universe itself moves in alignment with it. Signs begin appearing, events shift, and what once felt impossible begins to unfold with ease. The truth has momentum now. The enemies who once laughed quietly behind closed doors no longer laugh. Their meetings are tense, their smiles forced, their trust in each other fractured. Fear has entered their circle, and fear has no mercy. They look over their shoulders more often now, sensing the invisible hand of consequence approaching. Their conversations are whispered, but even whispered words cannot protect them from what is already written. The weight of their choices is pressing down hard. Their games are over. The very ground they thought was solid is shaking beneath them. And every attempt to rebuild is only met with more collapse. You stand untouched, shielded not only by what was revealed, but by forces greater than them. What they tried to take will soon return to you multiplied. Their downfall is the signal of your rise. The police files now contain everything needed to move forward. Nothing they do can stop the process, because it is already in motion. Their names are written, their actions recorded, their roles documented. The woman's courage has turned into your protection. And your protection has now become the reason their deception cannot survive. No wall is strong enough to resist the pull of truth once it begins. And though you may not see the results yet, the shift is already in your favor. New paths are opening, new opportunities are aligning, and new blessings are being released into your life. This is the unseen reward of truth. Archangel Michael says, "The storm is not here to destroy you. The storm is here to remove what was built against you, so only your rightful place remains." Type Amen to claim your blessing 222. The days ahead will carry unusual signs. People you thought were distant may suddenly return. People who avoided you may begin to show strange behavior, unable to hide their discomfort. These are signals of exposure. They are proof that the truth is pushing closer, and the masks are falling apart. What once was hidden is breaking into the open. Their plans to replace you are failing, and they know it. Every effort they make only strengthens the evidence against them. Every move is being watched, documented, and remembered. And you, the one they tried to erase, will be lifted higher. The blessings that were delayed are no longer held back. What was stolen is returning, multiplied beyond what you expected. The quiet work of the officers spread wider than anyone expected. What began as a single report turned into a web of calls, checks, and confirmations. Each thread they pulled revealed yet another hidden layer of deception. The deeper they went, the clearer it became that this was not just one person's story. It was a carefully built system of lies designed to hold you back. Every detail connected, and every connection pointed toward the same direction, you. And though you were not in the room, your name echoed in their silence. The energy of your presence filled every conversation, even without being spoken aloud. Because the truth being uncovered belonged to you. The woman who started it all carried a strange calmness now. She had done her part, and destiny itself had lifted the weight from her shoulders. The burden was no longer hers, because the truth had been delivered. The enemies you once trusted in silence are now the ones most restless. They feel the invisible eyes watching them, the pressure of being exposed inching closer with every passing day. And their actions betray their fear. They start avoiding the very places they once walked proudly. Their laughter fades into whispers, and their boldness collapses into hesitation. They cannot hide the trembling that rises within them. Every secret meeting they held is now fragile. Every word they exchanged is now evidence waiting to surface. And they know they cannot stop what has already begun. The power they thought they held is gone. Their grip on your destiny has slipped, and in their fall, they will witness your rising. The truth has chosen sides, and it has chosen you. Meanwhile, the officers continue their work with quiet determination. Files are being added, names are being written, and patterns are being traced. The story grows bigger, and every piece fits perfectly into place. It is no longer about one voice, it is about the collective proof of hidden betrayal. They cannot deny it, they cannot dismiss it, and they cannot cover it. The evidence is stronger than any excuse. And while they work in silence, your path grows brighter. What was meant to push you down is now the very reason you will be lifted higher. Their deception has become the seed of your testimony. Archangel Michael says, "Those who built against you are now building the proof of their own downfall. What they created for harm is now the doorway of your rise." Type Amen to seal your blessing. 666. The enemies no longer look at you the same way. They cannot meet your eyes with confidence, because deep inside, they know the truth is chasing them. Their silence is no longer power, it is fear. They may try to act normal, but the cracks are showing. Their steps are slower, their conversations awkward, their presence uncomfortable. The mask no longer fits. And soon, they will distance themselves even more. They will try to hide, but hiding cannot protect them anymore. The truth is a wave that cannot be outrun. For you, this is the beginning of restoration. What was delayed is coming forward, what was blocked is opening, and what was stolen is returning multiplied. The weight is lifting off your shoulders now. The days ahead will carry unexpected shifts. A call, a message, a sudden change in someone's behavior, all will be signs that the investigation is moving closer to its conclusion. And you will begin to see the truth reflected in real life. Those who plotted quietly will not be able to remain hidden. Their faces will show unease, their choices will look strange, and their distance will expose them. Even without words, their actions will reveal what they have done. The woman's voice has already reached farther than she imagined. It has carried into rooms where decisions are being made, and it has broken the silence that protected your enemies for too long. The chain reaction cannot be stopped. And you, the rightful one, are already standing in victory. The storm that once surrounded you is now clearing, and the light that was hidden is returning to you brighter than ever. Type Amen to unlock your blessing. 888. The investigation began to move in silence, but silence does not mean stillness. Behind closed doors, files were being compared, timelines reviewed, and every lie carefully untangled. The officers treated the report as though it were a key unlocking hidden doors. The more they searched, the more they realized how deep the deception went. It was not just one person or one event, it was a network, a chain of actions linked together with precision. Yet, even the strongest chains break when one link is exposed. This is why her voice mattered so much. With a single act of courage, she disrupted what had been carefully hidden for so long. And now, The ripple of her truth is reaching you. Your enemies may not know exactly how much the officers have uncovered, but they feel the weight of something pressing against them. Their sleep is restless, their confidence gone, their silence louder than words. Type Amen to receive your blessing 999. The woman herself has stepped back into the shadows, but her role is complete. She did not need to fight a battle, she only needed to speak, and the battle shifted in your favor. Her strength was in her honesty. Those who once mocked her courage will soon see why she mattered. Because truth, once released, carries a force beyond anything lies can hold. It multiplies, grows, and spreads into every hidden corner. Now that the officers are tracing her words, the enemies are being boxed in. Their options are narrowing, their plans collapsing, their unity breaking apart. They are not as strong as they once believed. And while they weaken, you are being lifted. The very energy that was once used to block you is turning into the force that carries you forward. This is the reversal written for you. Type Amen to claim your blessing 111. The pressure is rising for them. They try to act as if nothing is happening, but every glance, every hesitation, every slip of the tongue betrays them. Their fear grows too heavy to hide. Even those around them begin to notice changes. A sudden nervousness, a lack of confidence, a distance in their behavior. These are cracks in the mask they once wore so confidently. What they planned for you is returning to them. The silence they wanted for you is now their silence. The fear they wanted for you is now their fear. And soon, the truth they tried to bury will be spoken aloud for others to hear. What was whispered in secret will echo in the open. Type Amen to seal your blessing 222. The officers continue gathering, step by step, with patience and precision. They are not rushing, because the truth is worth the careful effort. Each new piece of evidence adds weight that cannot be denied. You may not yet know the details, but you will feel the results. The heaviness that surrounded you will begin to lift. Doors that seemed locked will begin to open with ease. Their attempts to hold you back are no longer effective. Every move they make works against them, every step they take strengthens the case. They are trapped by their own decisions. Archangel Michael says, the truth is not waiting to arrive, it is already here, and it is shaping your tomorrow. Type Amen to unlock your blessing 333. The energy around you is already changing. People who once avoided you may begin returning. People who once seemed against you may start showing unexpected respect. These are signs of the shifting tide. Opportunities are beginning to align in your favor. What was delayed for months, even years, is now being released. What was held back is flowing again. And while blessings pour toward you, your enemies are shrinking. Their silence is no longer strength, it is weakness. Their presence fades while your light grows stronger. This is the balance of destiny. The truth has made its decision, and it has chosen to stand on your side. The breakthrough cannot be stopped. Type Amen to receive your blessing 444. The walls of deception are falling faster than anyone expected. Each day that passes reveals something new, and each revelation presses harder on those who thought they were safe. The silence that once protected them has now turned into the very sound of their downfall. The officers now hold more than just words. They hold evidence that is undeniable, evidence that points directly to those who plotted in secret. Their calm actions hide the power of what they carry in their hands. The woman's decision to speak has multiplied into consequences far beyond her imagination. She may not know it, but her voice has changed the direction of entire lives. And you stand at the center of the transformation. What once was against you is now in your favor. The darkness that tried to block you has turned into the light clearing your way. This is the divine reversal unfolding step by step. Type Amen to receive your blessing 555. The enemies grow weaker each day. They cannot stop the weight pressing against them, and they cannot escape the truth catching up to them. Their every move is now heavy with fear. They sit in silence more often, replaying the choices they made. The laughter that once filled their meetings has turned into quiet tension. Their eyes no longer hold confidence, only unease. Even their allies are beginning to withdraw. No one wants to stand too close to something collapsing. Their circle is shrinking, and with each day, they lose the support they once counted on. And while they sink, you are being lifted higher. The opportunities once delayed are breaking open. The favor once hidden is now flowing freely toward you. Type Amen to claim your blessing 666. The officers move carefully, but their steps are sure. They are not announcing their progress, but progress is happening with precision. Every action is being documented, every detail secured. Their silence is not emptiness, it is strength. It is the sign of preparation, the sign that something greater is coming. The truth is already in motion. Meanwhile, your name is rising in places you do not even know. Conversations about you are shifting, respect is returning, and space is being made for your breakthrough. What was stolen is preparing to come back. The blessing in this moment is not just survival, it is restoration. And restoration means more than what you lost. It means multiplied return, overflowing into your future. Type Amen to seal your blessing 777. The woman who spoke has now become part of destiny's history. Her role is written, and her courage is remembered. Without her voice, the lies would still stand, but now they are crumbling. She may never fully understand the weight of what she has done, but heaven remembers. Her testimony was not just words, it was the key that unlocked your freedom. And no power can reverse it now. The officers trust her words because truth carries its own evidence. Even when spoken simply, truth resonates deeper than any lie. And they cannot deny the clarity they heard in her voice. Archangel Michael says, one voice, spoken at the right moment, has the power to change the course of destiny. That moment has already happened for you. Type Amen to unlock your blessing 888. The atmosphere around you is shifting quickly. People may not say it directly, but they sense something is changing in your life. The energy around you feels different, stronger, undeniable. Those who once doubted you will be surprised at how fast things turn in your favor. They will not understand how doors suddenly open, how paths clear, and how blessings flow. But you will know, it is the power of truth revealed. Your enemies cannot hide in the same spaces anymore. Every attempt to cover their tracks only exposes them further. Every effort to remain strong only reveals their weakness. And soon, their names will no longer hold weight. Their power will no longer matter. Because the truth has removed their foundation completely. Type Amen to receive your blessing 999.